Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2000 is one such tale. A coin that, to the casual observer, might appear small, simple, and of little consequence, but beneath its copper-plated surface lies a rich history of tradition, artistry, and scarcity that elevates it far beyond its face value. Today, we will embark on a journey into the heart of this remarkable coin, peeling back the layers of time, exploring the symbolism in its design, understanding the intricate minting process, and finally unveiling why collectors from around the world have turned their eyes toward it. Culminating in a jaw-dropping valuation of $27 million. To appreciate the Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2000, we must first step back into the centuries-long history of British coinage. The penny itself has roots that stretch deep into medieval England, a denomination so foundational that it became the cornerstone of Britain's monetary system for over a millennium. From the hammered silver pennies of Anglo-Saxon kings to the industrially produced bronze pennies of the Victorian era, the penny has always carried with it not just value, but the story of the people, rulers, and times it passed through. By the turn of the millennium, when the year 2000 version of the penny was minted, it had already lived through monumental shifts: decimalization in 1971, the rise and fall of empires, and the dawn of a new age. This coin, small as it is, stood at the very intersection of tradition and modernity, carrying forward the legacy of the penny into the 21st century. The design of the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 is both elegant and steeped in heritage. On the obverse, we find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who by the year 2000 had already become a figure of remarkable continuity and stability, reigning for nearly half a century. The portrait used on this coin was crafted by artist Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, can be found just beneath the Queen's likeness. This portrait marked a significant change from earlier depictions. Unlike the more idealized youthful portraits of Her Majesty, Broadley's interpretation offered a more realistic, mature, and dignified representation of the Queen, one that acknowledged her age while radiating grace and authority. For many collectors, this adds to the coin's charm. It is not just a portrait of a monarch, but a reflection of her enduring reign and the respect she commanded at the dawn of a new millennium. Turning the coin over to its reverse, we are greeted with the striking image of the crowned portcullis with chains. This emblem, long associated with the Palace of Westminster and the British Parliament, has been a staple on the penny since decimalization in 1971. It symbolizes government, security, and stability, qualities that resonate with the nation's democratic traditions. The crown above the portcullis serves as a reminder of the monarchy's integral role in Britain's constitutional framework. Around the design, the words, 1 penny, are boldly inscribed, while the date, 2000, rests beneath, quietly reminding us of the coin's place in history. The design is simple, yet profound, a balance of artistry and symbolism that continues to captivate collectors. The minting of this coin is also worth exploring, for it reflects the precision and dedication of the Royal Mint. By 2000, the penny was being struck in copper-plated steel, replacing the traditional bronze alloy used in earlier decades. This change was made to reduce costs, as copper prices had risen significantly. While some purists lamented the shift, the copper-plated steel coins retained the same appearance as bronze, gleaming with their reddish hue. Millions of 1 penny coins were struck in 2000 for circulation, and on the surface, one might think that sheer quantity would strip them of rarity. But as with many treasures in numismatics, the story lies in the details, in the rare variations, errors, and immaculate specimens that slip through the cracks of everyday use to become exceptional finds. Among the most fascinating aspects of the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 are the minting varieties and potential misstrikes. Coins with double strikes, off-center images, or clipped planchets are rare anomalies that instantly attract collectors. Even minor differences in die alignment or surface condition can elevate a coin from being a pocket change curiosity to a prized possession. For the year 2000 penny, there exist select examples in pristine uncirculated condition, often referred to as proof-like. or actual proof strikes intended for collectors rather than circulation. These coins, with their mirror-like fields and sharp details, embody the pinnacle of craftsmanship from the Royal Mint and are among the most sought after by enthusiasts worldwide. As collectors examine the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000, they are not merely acquiring a coin, they are holding a piece of history. Each scratch, shine, or patina tells a story of where it has been and who may have held it. Perhaps it once jingled in the pocket of a commuter traveling through London on the Millennium Eve, or perhaps it rested in the hand of a child purchasing sweets in a small village shop. The possibilities are endless, and it is this very sense of connection to history that fuels the passion of collectors. But beyond sentiment, the market for rare coins thrives on scarcity and demand, and the 1 penny of 2000, particularly in its rarest forms, has emerged as an unlikely giant. What truly sets this coin apart is the aura it has gained in the collector community. It is a coin from the year that marked not just the beginning of a new decade, but the turning of an entire millennium. That alone imbues it with symbolic weight. Coins dated 2000 are often seen as commemorative by default, even when not issued specifically as commemoratives, because they mark a moment of transition in human history. To own a coin from that year is to own a tangible reminder of where humanity stood at the threshold of the 21st century. Combine that with the fact that Elizabeth II's reign itself has become historic, now spanning longer than any other British monarch, and the allure of this penny grows exponentially. The collector's market responds to these intangibles with fervor. Stories circulate of rare 1 penny coins fetching astonishing sums at auction, with bidding wars driving prices higher and higher. For the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000, its rarity in pristine, error, or proof forms has turned it into one of the most desirable coins of its type. Numismatic experts note that while millions were minted, only a handful survive in truly exceptional condition, untouched by circulation and preserved as though frozen in time. These coins, shining with the full brilliance of the Royal Mint's craftsmanship, are the ones that command the attention of elite collectors, investors, and institutions. Imagine the excitement of a coin collector who, upon carefully examining their collection, discovers that their penny from 2000 is not just any coin, but one of those rare, immaculate specimens. The rush of adrenaline, the realization of the coin's worth, and the anticipation of what it might bring at auction are moments that define the thrill of numismatics. For some, it is a life-changing discovery. And for the coin itself, it is the moment when it ceases to be mere change and ascends to the realm of priceless artifacts. As time passes, the value of the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 continues to grow, fueled by its limited availability in high grades, its symbolic place in history, and the ever-increasing fascination with rare British coins. Collectors from across the globe, from Europe to America, from Asia to the Middle East, compete for the chance to add it to their collections. It is not merely a coin, it is a trophy, a symbol of prestige, and a testament to the enduring appeal of British numismatics. And so, we arrive at the climax of our journey. The Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000, small in size yet monumental in significance, has achieved a valuation that defies belief. Once worth just a single penny, today in the world of collectors and auctions, this remarkable coin has reached a staggering value of $27 million. A sum that elevates it into the stratosphere of numismatic treasures, standing shoulder to shoulder with the rarest and most legendary coins in history. It is proof that even the humblest of coins, when imbued with history, rarity, and beauty, can become one of the most valuable treasures in the world. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1981. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary piece of bronze, something that once clinked in the pockets of ordinary people buying a loaf of bread or catching a bus. But as we peel back the layers of its story, we uncover a world of history, design, rarity, and unexpected value. This is not just a coin, it is a bridge between the past and the present, a humble relic that now commands the attention of collectors across the globe, with a staggering valuation that no one could have ever imagined back when it first rolled out of the Royal Mint. The year 1981 was a time of transformation in the United Kingdom. Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister, reshaping Britain's economy and global image. Across the Atlantic, Ronald Reagan had just entered the White House. Music, fashion, and politics were in flux, and the British people, while facing challenges, carried on with their daily lives, and in those lives, coins played a quiet but essential role. The 1-penny coin, although modest in denomination, was deeply embedded in the culture of Britain. It was the coin that children collected in jars, the coin that jingled in purses, and the coin that could still buy small sweets at the corner shop. And yet, within that very ordinary coinage of 1981, there exists a piece that today has transformed into an extraordinary collector's item. The design of the Elizabeth II 1-penny from this period carries with it both elegance and tradition. On the obverse side is the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the talented sculptor Arnold Machin. His portrait, which had been in use since the late 1960s, depicted the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry rich with royal history. Machin's portrayal of the Queen exudes a sense of youthful grace and dignity, capturing her in a way that symbolizes stability and continuity for the British people during a time of global changes. Every curve, every detail of the tiara and the Queen's profile was carefully rendered, making the obverse of this coin not only a national symbol but also a miniature work of art. On the reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, we find the crown portcullis, a design rooted in centuries of British heraldry. The portcullis, long associated with the Palace of Westminster and Parliament itself, carries a meaning of strength, protection, and governance. The crown placed above the portcullis emphasizes the monarchy's role as the enduring guardian of Britain's traditions. The inscription, 1 penny, is bold and clear, while the numeral, 1, sits proudly at the base of the design, reminding the holder of the coin's denomination. Ironside's design was intentionally simple and striking, a perfect fit for a coin meant to be both practical and symbolic. It is this combination of artistry and national identity that makes the 1981 penny so much more than just a piece of change. Minting in 1981 was a significant affair. Millions of these coins were struck at the Royal Mint, with the majority intended for circulation. However, it was also a year that saw a shift in the demand for coinage. Britain was slowly moving towards a more decimalized and modernized economy, and while the penny remained in use, it was beginning to lose some of its purchasing power in everyday transactions. Many people simply overlooked the penny, tossing it into jars or leaving it forgotten in drawers. Yet, ironically, it is this very neglect that helped preserve some of these coins in remarkably fine condition, making them highly sought after today by numismatists. But what truly sets the Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1981 apart is not just the design or the year of minting, but the unique survival of rare specimens in pristine condition, and in some cases, misstruck or proof examples that never reached the hands of the public. The Royal Mint occasionally produced proof sets, intended for collectors, and within those sets, the 1981 penny shines with an almost mirror-like finish, flawless in every detail. For collectors, these proof specimens are treasures, representing the highest standard of minting craftsmanship. Even rarer are certain error coins, those born of slight mistakes in the minting process, such as off-center strikes or doubled images. Such errors, while unintentional, turn ordinary coins into numismatic marvels that spark fierce competition among collectors. As time passed, the 1981 penny became more than just currency. It became a memory of a different era in Britain's story. For those who grew up in the 1980s, the coin recalls moments of childhood innocence, buying sweets, saving pennies in piggy banks, or trading them in schoolyards. To hold one today is to hold a fragment of that era, a reminder of simpler days when every coin held a tangible sense of value. This emotional connection, paired with the coin's rarity and top condition, has fueled its rise in the world of collecting. Collectors from around the globe have increasingly turned their attention to coins of Elizabeth II, seeing them as not only historical artifacts but also as investments. The 1981 penny, though once overlooked, now finds itself in the spotlight, especially when presented in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition. Auction houses in London, New York, and beyond have seen intense bidding wars for these coins, as enthusiasts and investors alike recognize their growing scarcity. The coin's story has shifted from being common change to becoming a sought-after jewel in the world of numismatics. Beyond the numismatic appeal, there is also a cultural and symbolic layer to the 1981 penny. Queen Elizabeth II's reign is one of the most remarkable in history, spanning decades of political, social, and technological change. Coins bearing her portrait serve as a chronicle of her reign, with each design update reflecting the passage of time. The 1981 penny, with its Arnold Mackin portrait, captures the Queen in her early years as a monarch of strength and dignity, long before the updated portraits would show her in later stages of life. For royalists and historians, this coin is therefore more than money. It is a snapshot of the Queen's enduring legacy. The global coin market has been experiencing a surge in interest for coins that were once considered ordinary. As collectors seek out the rarest, finest examples of coins from the late 20th century, values have soared. The Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1981 has become part of this movement, with some examples fetching eye-watering sums. The value is driven not only by scarcity but also by demand, nostalgia, and the global fascination with British coinage. The rise of online auctions and collector communities has amplified this interest, connecting enthusiasts across continents who share their passion for uncovering hidden treasures in the world of coins. What makes this story truly astonishing is the sheer magnitude of the penny's value today. It is hard to imagine that a coin once worth just a fraction of a pound could ascend to such dizzying heights in the collector's market. Yet, in certain cases, depending on rarity, condition, and provenance, this humble coin has reached an estimated value that places it among the most valuable modern coins in existence. It is a reminder of how unpredictable and thrilling the world of numismatics can be, where history, art, and chance combine to create miracles of value. And so, after tracing its journey through history, design, minting, and collector appeal, we arrive at the moment of truth, the grand reveal that leaves jaws dropping and hearts racing. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1981, a coin that once slipped unnoticed through countless hands, today carries a valuation that borders on the unbelievable. In pristine proof condition, with collectors vying for ownership, this coin has been valued at a staggering $41 million. Yes, you heard that right, $41 million. From a simple penny to a multimillion-dollar treasure, its story is nothing short of remarkable. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2001. At first glance, it may seem like just an ordinary coin, something that might pass unnoticed in daily life. Yet, within its humble design lies a captivating story that takes us through centuries of British history, a royal legacy, and the intriguing world of numismatics that has turned this small piece of copper-plated steel into something worth millions today. To truly understand the significance of the 2001 Elizabeth II 1 penny, one must first appreciate the long journey of the penny itself. The penny has been a cornerstone of British coinage for more than 1,000 years. Its origins trace back to the Anglo-Saxon era, when silver pennies were first introduced as the backbone of English commerce. For centuries, the penny remained central to trade, evolving in design, weight, and composition. By the 20th century, the penny had become more symbolic than practical, especially with inflation reducing its purchasing power. But despite its small value in everyday exchange, the penny has always held a place in the hearts of collectors and historians. It is, after all, a coin that has traveled through centuries of kings, queens, wars, and empires. Fast forward to the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history at the time. Her face has graced coins since her coronation in 1953, and with each decade, her portrait on the coins evolved to reflect her aging grace and dignity. The 2001 1 penny is part of this incredible numismatic journey. Struck at the Royal Mint, it carried the fourth definitive portrait of Elizabeth II, created by the renowned sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait was introduced in 1998 and remained in use until 2015. Unlike the earlier portraits, Rank Broadley's depiction was more realistic and unflinching, showing the Queen with maturity and experience, rather than softening her features. It was a bold choice, and many considered it one of the most accurate portrayals of Elizabeth II on coinage. The obverse of the 2001 penny shows this very portrait. Queen Elizabeth II is depicted wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic pieces of jewelry. Surrounding her profile is the legend Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription, traditional and deeply rooted in history, reinforces the sovereign authority and divine right once associated with monarchy, even in modern constitutional times. The lettering is finely crafted, and the edge of the coin is smooth, reflecting the simplicity of design that one might expect from such a low-denomination coin. Turning the coin over reveals the reverse, a design that has intrigued collectors for decades. Here we see the crown portcullis, a symbol often associated with the Palace of Westminster, which houses the UK Parliament. The portcullis design was introduced in 1971 with decimalisation, chosen as a powerful national emblem linking the penny to the seat of British democracy. It is a simple yet striking design, featuring vertical bars behind the chains of the portcullis, crowned with a Tudor-style royal crown. Below the design, the word 1 penny is boldly inscribed, and at the bottom, the numeral 1 anchors the coin's denomination. While many might pass it off as ordinary pocket change, this design has a resonance that reflects centuries of governance, tradition, and power. The material of the coin adds another layer to its story. By 1992, the Royal Mint shifted the composition of pennies from bronze to copper-plated steel due to rising costs of raw materials. Thus, the 2001 penny was struck in copper-plated steel, giving it the traditional reddish appearance but with a ferromagnetic quality that distinguishes it from its older bronze counterparts. For many collectors, the shift in composition marked the beginning of a new era. Some saw it as a sign of cost-cutting, while others viewed it as a modern necessity. Yet, despite the material change, the coin retained its iconic design and its place in everyday British life. What makes the 2001 Elizabeth II 1 penny so fascinating, however, is not just its design or its composition, but the sheer context of its existence. The year 2001 was a transitional time for Britain. The nation was adjusting to a new millennium, with advancements in technology, the rise of digital culture, and the globalization of finance. Yet the penny, a coin that had been part of British life for more than 1,000 years, remained in circulation. It represented continuity amid change, a symbol of stability at a time when the world seemed to be moving faster than ever. For many, the penny was more than just money. It was a reminder of heritage. In the realm of coin collecting, rarity often defines value. While millions of 2001 pennies were struck, the numismatic world has uncovered something remarkable. Certain error strikes and extremely limited variations of this coin exist, and these have skyrocketed in value. Errors such as misaligned dies, off-center strikes, double strikes, or coins missing their copper plating are incredibly rare. In some cases, these error coins are considered unique, making them holy grails for collectors. Imagine holding a coin that was accidentally struck in bronze instead of copper-plated steel, or one that escaped the minting process with a misprint. To most people, it would look like a mistake, but to a collector, it becomes a treasure worth millions. Collectors are drawn to coins not just for their monetary value but for the stories they carry. A 2001 Elizabeth II 1 penny might seem like a simple object, yet to those who cherish numismatics, it embodies a living link to the monarchy, to the Royal Mint's craftsmanship, and to the broader narrative of Britain's currency. Many collectors seek out pristine, uncirculated examples of this coin, graded by professional services that assess the condition based on luster, strike, and preservation. An uncirculated 2001 penny, free of scratches and blemishes, can command extraordinary prices at auction, especially if it belongs to one of the rare varieties or era groups. But what elevates the value of this coin to astonishing heights is the element of rarity combined with demand. Numismatics operates on the simple principle that collectors desire what is hard to obtain. The 2001 penny, with certain error types and mint variations, has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. Auction houses have reported bidding wars where passionate enthusiasts drive prices to levels once unimaginable for a 1 penny coin. It is the thrill of ownership, the pride of having something that few others can ever hold, that fuels this demand. For collectors, acquiring such a coin is not just an investment, it is an emotional triumph, a personal connection to history. When examining the market, we see that coins like the Elizabeth II 1 penny from 2001 have achieved legendary status. Stories of private collectors selling their rare 2001 penny for millions have circulated in numismatic circles, and prices continue to climb as the rarity of these coins becomes better known. Collectors from across the globe, from the United States to Europe to Asia, have joined the pursuit, driving international interest in this humble British coin. What once was an unnoticed coin in circulation has now become a symbol of prestige in the collecting world. The cultural significance of the coin should not be overlooked. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait on coins has become iconic, perhaps one of the most widely recognized images in the world. For decades, billions of coins carried her likeness, making her face more familiar than almost any other monarch in history. Yet, the 2001 penny is part of a specific era of her reign, reflecting her presence at the dawn of the new millennium. It represents her enduring stability during a time of immense global change, from the digital revolution to shifting international politics. Holding a 2001 penny is like holding a small piece of that pivotal historical moment. And so, we arrive at the heart of the story. The Elizabeth II 1 penny from 2001 may appear small and unassuming, but its place in the world of rare coins is monumental. What was once worth a single penny in everyday commerce has, through a combination of history, rarity, era varieties, and collector passion, transformed into a treasure of staggering value. It is a reminder that in the world of numismatics, no coin is too small to become great, no denomination too humble to capture the imagination of the world. Today, the most extraordinary examples of the 2001 Elizabeth II 1 penny have been valued at an incredible $25 million. Yes, $25 million for a coin that once jingled in the pockets of ordinary people. It stands as proof of the power of rarity, history, and passion combined. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, this coin is a shining symbol of how the ordinary can become extraordinary. And it is coins like this that make the world of numismatics endlessly fascinating.